Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to World This Morning. I'm your host Hajra, Satti, and it's a fine Thursday morning in Islamabad, and I think we have a fresh natural resource called sun, and I think we all should revert to the sun as a source of the dopamine instead of scrolling or doom scrolling, as I would like to say. But since it's the nice early morning in Islamabad, so I would like to roll out some interesting conversation and some interesting news. So in a very interesting development, third and the final one-day international between Pakistan and Zimbabwe will be played today. The match will begin 12:30 in the afternoon. PTV Sports HD will be broadcasting it live. Earlier, Pakistan crushed Zimbabwe by 10 wickets in the second one-day international and leveled the three-match series by 3-1. And I think that is a good news, especially for the cricketing followers, for the cricketing fans out there. And in Pakistan, cricket is not just a sports, it's much more than that. There's so many emotions invested in this game, and I really wonder why it's not a national game at all. But now again, talking about the cricket, so Pakistan has reached the semi-finals of the fourth blind T20 World Cup. In the match played in the Lahore, Pakistan defeated Nepal by 10 wickets to win its fourth consecutive victory. Batting first, Nepal scored 100 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in the stipulated 18 overs. Bharat Thapa played an innings of 39 and Naresh played an innings of 17 runs. And congratulations to Pakistan's cricket team, especially the blind cricket team that has played a very amazing series. And so now when we talk about obviously the source of dopamine, I mean we want to revert back to the natural resources, but no one can deny how much social media is an integral part of our lives and it is embedded into the social fabric. But obviously it's a technology and we can always exploit it for a healthy and a beneficial means. So what does digital transformation means? Because a lot of people out there, they're actually earning a lot of money because of this digitalization, because of the social media. They're not just, they're prosumers, there's a new term called. There's also the producers and the consumers of the content. So how to make sure that we utilize this entire digitalization in our benefit and make sure that we have a vibrant social media presence. In order to unfold this conversation, I'm very glad that we have been joined by Aamer Ejaz Sahab. He happens to be the president of the digital platforms of Ejaz. Assalamu alaikum, sir, and thank you so much for coming to our show.
Alaikum assalam, Hajra. It's nice to be here.
Thank you so much. Absolutely, it's my pleasure. So now let's unfold our conversation. So whenever we talk about the digitalization, I just feel when we talk about the telecos within the Pakistan, how sophisticated is the digitalization going on?
So I can comment on behalf of Ejaz first, because we call ourselves digital operator, and we have 71 million customers on our connectivity side. But through our digital apps and platforms, we serve 100 million customers in Pakistan.
Okay.
So when we talk about digital, we have an ambition to become the largest digital operator in the country. And when we say digital operator, this does not mean just providing connectivity, but we are solving people problems through our fintech vertical, which is called Ejaz Cash, which is the largest fintech in the country. We are providing entertainment. You are talking about Zimbabwe, Pakistan, Zimbabwe. So those people who are at their homes, they can watch it on PTV World and PTV. But if the people are traveling and they're on the street, or they want to watch it on mobile screens, they can watch it on Tamasha, for example. So which is the largest video streaming platform in the country. So similarly, we have Samosa, which is one of the largest apps in the country in terms of interacting with telcos. So if somebody doesn't want to call the call center, or they don't want to come and visit the franchises and the retail centers, they can do all of their telco transactions with few clicks. So this is how we are addressing this challenge through multi-dimensional and through multi-apps to provide the overall digital ecosystem, because digital transformation is not just about one thing, it's about creating the entire ecosystem.
Right, and when we talk reaching mass audiences out there, right, we cannot discount the role of social media in that. And whenever we talk about the younger generation, Gen Alpha, millennials, they're all on social media, not just millennials, I think baby boomers are also on the social media. So how much integral is the social media apps, platform or generally space to your franchise or to your platform? And secondly, I would like to really focus on the medium of the memes, because I think a lot of people are consuming their information, even political information, through memes, right? In a very satirical way, in a very paradoxical way, or there is a parody involved in that. So do you think that the memes is also an integral part of your philosophy or your digital ethos?
I think it's a great question. Commenting on meme part first, because this is really a very subtle way of communicating, a fun way of communicating a message and creating healthy entertainment.
And the element of virality is in that,
yes,
right?
an element
That's
of
very
absolutely,
essential,
absolutely. So keeping that in mind, we wanted to make it an inherent part of our own platforms also. So for example, we have launched this Tamasha Shorts, which is like short form video content, which is becoming viral, where people can share the short form videos.
Right, right.
And we are already seeing a lot of traction.
Right,
so I think this is a content hungry nation. You very rightly said that even millennials and even older gens are also on the social media platform, but 2/3 of this country population is below the age of 30. So they are content hungry, they want to create content. So meme is really a fun way, and we see the power of it, and we are really standing behind it.
Right.
And in terms of social media, you're absolutely right, but social media in a sense is also now becoming a video media. So most of the social interaction that used to be text-based, even Twitter moved to the videos now. So the video, picture-based and videos, small videos, right? So that's why I mentioned particularly about Tamasha, which is a video streaming platform.
Right.
We are seeing a lot of traction. I mean, millions of customers. I'll give you cricket examples. Right?
Sure.
So half of the cricket audience in Pakistan now watch match on small screens, and primarily 70% of the traffic is coming on Tamasha. So we see this transition coming from big screen to small screen, thanks to the social media, video streaming, and all of these trends.
Right, and whenever we talk about the attention of the audiences, I mean, there are lots of brands, who are vying for the attention of their audience market out there, and it's very difficult, frankly speaking, grabbing their attention, because of social media, there is an overdose of information, there's an overinflux of the information. How do you think, and I think the element of the storytelling is very essential in having that attention, right? So do you think that Pakistan's digital transformation has that vital element of the storytelling if you want to attract the consumer's attention in the first place?
Actually, Hajra, I believe that storytelling is the only way if you want to engage audience in today's world, right? Because you need to have that emotional connection with the audience. And for that emotional connection, you need to pack even your logic, even if there's a logical message, you need to pack that in the form of a story. Because stories is what we hear as children, and stories is as we keep on telling, right? So this is the central theme of our products, at least. But I see that happening generally in the industry also. People realize it. People have the focus, and I think this is the only way to go, by the way. There is no other way in this day and age. When there's so much distraction, that if your story doesn't have emotion in it, you're not connecting with the audience, you're not giving the right message, and you're not being authentic, then people will just quickly switch and move on.
Right, and also let's also talk about the role of artificial intelligence, because there are a lot of global conversation happening in every arena, right? Democracy, politics, I mean, attention, etc., etc. The social transformation that is going on. So whenever we talk about Pakistan's digital transformation, do you think the artificial intelligence, there are conversations leading into that, and do you think we are having the right conversations in this regard?
It's another great question. I think so. We as Jazz don't call it AI or artificial intelligence. We call it augmented intelligence. So we see technology as augmenting humans. It's like a co-pilot sitting with us. So if you talk about chat GPTs of the world or all these Gen AIs, people are actually creating not just text and videos, but they're creating music. They are creating all other form of things together with the machines. So we see machines as partners of humans, not really artificially coming and replacing humans. We see them augmenting. And AI 1440 is our core theme. We think that through artificial intelligence, we can engage people, we can provide them better content, and we can provide them better education, better health, better financial products. AI is the way to go. I'll just give you an example. We have now an app called Samosa. So, which is basically for all of your SIM needs. And when people were interacting, we realized that there should be a Samosa chart or Samosa chat with it. So for that we launched this.
Which is a very Pakistani thing, right? Because we are fond of samosas, right?
Yes. So we said let's augment it with a chat. And then we are powering it. We use this large language model and we trained it for our own Pakistani market. So now the people can come and talk, and the chatbot or chartbot quickly acknowledges what you are talking about and responds to you instantly and solves your problems also. And if your customer complaint, they actually take your complaint and forward it to customer care also. So its bot is acting like an agent, like a human.
Okay, that's very wonderful development, because there's, I think, a lot of doomerism regarding the artificial intelligence, and whenever people talk about artificial intelligence, so the first concept that prop into the mind is maybe machines are going to overpower us and we are going to live in their servitude, but I think we can always exploit machine for our benefit. So whenever we talk about this transformation from the knowledge-based economy, right, and which is today, right now, what we are witnessing, I mean, there are certain challenges that accompanies this knowledge-based economy, and I think one of the thing, and especially after 9/11, is I think the biggest victim is the peace and the privacy. And in this era, when it's a data-based economy, or big data is like the golden currency that we have nowadays. From the consumer's point of view and from the companies or the corporate point of the view, how do you protect the privacy of that big data that you're having?
So Hajra, basically you are absolutely right that this is really becoming a source of concern from many areas. But let me also tell you that we see as a new digital world order emerging now. Absolutely. So the companies, when we were young and we were kids, or previous generation also, they used to say that human personality and opinion is shaped by two things, nature and nurture.
Oh yes.
But now there's a third thing also. It's nature, nurture, and algorithm.
Absolutely.
So the kind of content you consume, there's an algorithm watching you. And then the algorithm starts feeding you with whatever, so all of these things are there.
Yeah.
I think the solution to that is data privacy, data sovereignty actually. We as Ejaz and beyond, we believe in data sovereignty. We think Pakistan data should reside within Pakistan.
Absolutely.
And that's why we have platforms like Garage and other cloud platforms where we make sure that Pakistani data stays here. So data is the new oil. Data privacy starts with making sure that your data, as much of it as possible, resides within your country.
Right.
I personally think that there's good awareness coming in all the relevant authorities also, and we are talking about data privacy, the regulations are coming in, and we are making sure that people are aware. Similarly, the big techs also, they are realizing, they are giving people options. People can opt out of all of these trackings that these apps do. So all the major telephone companies and Apples and Samsungs of the world are also now giving these options to the people.
Right, and I think we talked about it yesterday. I talked about this thing that, whenever we talk about the modernity, so you do find some sort of tension between the local and the modern, right? And when we talk about in the Pakistan's context, so for example, I would say that there are a lot of people, especially who are residing not in the urban areas, but in the rural areas too, right? And whenever we talk about having their vibrant presence on the social media, so TikTok is the platform which has given them a voice, and we do see a lot of people who are residing in the rural areas and they're putting their content down, and that gives them sort of an authority, right? A power, a voice to be a part of the mainstream, which was not before there, right? So when we talk about the local transformations happening within the digital economy, how vibrant or what sort of conversations do you think we need to have in this regard?
So I think building on what you just said.
Right.
So while most of the people in Pakistan are aware that people living in rural community also, young people in particular, they are creating their videos, they want to be creators, they are going TikTok and they are becoming viral.
Right.
But they are unsung heroes also.
Absolutely.
So I'll talk about freelancers. So there are freelancers sitting in villages like Alipur Chatha, and they are coding there and they are writing content there, and they are earning dollars for Pakistan. And Pakistan, by the way, is one of the top fastest developing freelance economy in the world.
Right.
So I think we need to train this nation, train particularly the youth, not only to create content, but to create code, to become freelancers. Because we have excellent human resource.
Absolutely.
And our neighboring countries are doing billions of dollars of software exports.
Absolutely.
So in addition to content creation, we also need to focus on freelancing, software generation, artificial intelligence, as you just mentioned, and going forward, quantum computing and solving all other problems that Pakistan is facing through the use of technology. I will actually take a step forward and say that we should sign a charter of technology.
Absolutely.
Because this is what we need. If we need to take Pakistan forward, technology is the only way to go. Otherwise, we'll be left behind.
Right, and I think I would like to leverage our conversation here and keep it around the concept of the samosa. So the name itself is very interesting. It's a merger of Pakistan's own local culture, because we're all fond of samosas. No one can say no to samosa. It's very difficult. But how exactly is it providing solutions to the audiences or the target market out there? And take us through this journey and delve deep into what the concept is around.
So Hajra, in 2019, we launched an app. We called it Jazz World.
Okay.
And the idea was that the people who don't want to call
and anyone can download that?
Anyone can
Okay.
download that.
Okay.
So, but with Jazz World, the concept was that anyone who is the Jazz customer, if
Okay.
he or she wants to, don't want to come to the office and want to buy a bundle or check their balance, download their tax certificate, check their usage history, all of these things, they should have an app.
Right.
Once we started, we saw tremendous traction. And within 5 years, by 2023, we reached 18 million customers. And in 2023, we started asking this question, what should we do? So we said, let's share our success with entire Pakistan. And this is when we actually killed Jazz World and we started Simosa, where there's an invisible gap between SIM and OSA, which is like one-stop app for all the SIMs in the country.
Right.
So we opened it up for everybody. Now, some of our competition products are also available and other people are also joining in. Our concept is that if you have a SIM or an eSIM going forward, all of your needs should be there on this platform. Plus, there should be your lifestyle needs also. You want to check the stock price. You want to check whether Pakistan is, what's the Pakistan score currently with Zimbabwe. Or going forward, you want to have your own community and you want to, chat with the people and all the social media we're talking about. Simosa is the way to go. So we want to make it this, and with Simosa Chat or Simosa Chart, we are adding other features so people can be served. People who don't want to even click, they can just type and going forward talk to the app and app can solve their problems.
Right, and you alluded to the Charter of Digitalization, right? So what are some of the hurdles do you think are going to come when we talk about Pakistan having a vibrant presence on when we talk about digitalization, modernization, as an expert in this field, please go ahead.
I think as a nation, we need to declare a digital emergency, as we have said at many forums, a digital emergency, a technology emergency, that we need to really join forces together. We as Jazz, for example, I've shared some of my initiatives or Jazz initiatives with you. We really cannot do it alone. We need government, we need other banking sector, we need health sector, we need education sector. All of us need to join hands. That's why I'm saying we should have a charter of technology or digital charter or digital emergency where mobile broadband should be available. So it should be 4G for all. So we're talking about 5G right now.
Right.
But 4G is not available to 40% people.
Absolutely.
So let's first solve the bread problem before talking about the cake.
Right.
So 4G should be available to all. Smartphone is getting more and more expensive in the country because of high taxation.
Right.
While smartphone is the tool, when you say you don't give people fish, you teach them how to fish.
Absolutely.
So in today's age and world, you need to give them the smartphone and you need to give them broadband so that they can start creating their content or start coding or start serving the economy.
Absolutely.
So all of these steps need to be taken, plus all the industries, health and education particularly need to join hand with us so that we can transform these things.
Right. And I think that is the transformation that we essentially need, and we need to have these conversations on the digitalization, because no one can deny or discount the importance of how much social media is a vibrant or the particular part of our lives. So thank you so much once again for coming to our show and for having this wonderful cross-pollination of ideas centered around the Pakistan digital transformation and how we need to move forward. I'm going on a short break, and after I come back, I have an interesting discussion lined up. Don't go anywhere. Good morning. Welcome back, and before going on to the break, I was having a very interesting conversations on Pakistan's digital scenario. So now in another interesting development, world's first wooden satellite has been launched into the space. Oh wow, the first wooden panel satellite has been launched into the space to test whether timber could be suitable building material for the future space exploration. The satellite, which weighs just 900 grams, was made by Japanese researchers from Kyoto University, is heading into the International Space Station on the SpaceX mission. It will be released into the orbit above the Earth. The satellite is called Lignosat, after the Latin word for wood. And that's a very interesting development, and I don't think so, or I don't know whether we should encourage such sort of ventures, because I mean there are a lot of trees that we humans have cut to just dominate this planet Earth, but I don't know what are the broader ramifications or the consequences of that, and let the scientists work out. So archaeologists have discovered 4,000-year-old fishing canal. The archaeologists have found 4,000 years canal in Belize that were once used by ancient Mayans to catch the freshwater fish. And all of these ruins, all of these, the archaeologists find structures tell us that how such a vibrant civilizations that we had, and we humans, the modern day humans, have a lot to learn from their ventures. And also there is a first candy museums in Dubai, a virtual treat for a lot of kids out there. So Dubai has opened doors to first of its kind Candy Museum. It features over 15 theme rooms full of sweet surprises. From Gumpy Bear pools to chocolate fountains, candy lovers can have everything they can have dream of. And it's a very interesting experience, especially for the kids or who are sweet tooth out there. So in order to further unfold the conversation, there's someone who was living a very comfortable life in the New York, but he came back to Pakistan because he wanted to give back to the communities, and he felt a sort of, I would say, I don't know, I would like to ask him, a spiritual void or something like that about giving back to the communities. And this is the inner calling that is always present in a lot of people out there, but not many tune in to listen to that. And now he is running across the Pakistan, and through that he want to make sure that a lot of people or a lot of kids who are out of the school, they should go to the school, and he's raising funds for such sort of venture and initiative. So to further delve into that, I'm very glad that I've been joined by Tabarak or Rehman. He's a marathon runner. Assalamu alaikum Tabarak, and thank you so much for joining us.
Walaikum assalam, Hajra. Thank you so much for having me.
Right, so Tabarak, what was your inner calling? How did you landed up in Pakistan after living a very comfortable life in the New York? Because a lot of people here are dreaming of going abroad. So what made you reverse your journey?
No, I'm here on a break. I live in New York, but I'm back in Pakistan for 2 months to, you were talking about so many firsts, like first satellite, first chocolate candy. So I'm also here to become the first person ever to run 1600 kilometers across Pakistan. And in doing so, the more important thing is that we fundraise at least $1 million for the Citizens Foundation, which operates more than 2,000 schools and, provides near free education to more than 300,000 kids. My goal is to fundraise $1 million so that I can help them educate 7,000 kids. Education is a crisis in Pakistan that we all know about. And you don't have to look too far deep inside to understand the problem. And I've always wanted to do something in education, never knew how or what. And as soon as I came across cross-country running, I was like, I should do it. So here I am, running through Panuakal today.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Tabarak, I would further like to delve into this journey, because a lot of people who are, I just feel that there is a general trend, a broader trend within the millennials or people our age, because I think we are living a good and luxurious life, in terms of that we do have the material blessings out there. But there is generally, and especially in the western part of the world, there is this just a void, a spiritual void, where a lot of people feel, because they want to do something for a greater good in the broader scheme of things. And whenever we talk about in the broader scheme of things, so they are delving into the spiritual realm, and that spiritual realm forces them and asks them to go ahead and do something that is not just for their fulfillment, but it is also for the broader fulfillment of the communities out there. And we have seen this one initiative that you are taking for the people, for the children who are out of the school, and the staggering amount of the children who are out of the school in Pakistan, and making sure that you are partnering with the Citizens Foundation of Pakistan. And there are a lot of other problems when we talk about, there are a lot of other ways how you can give back to the communities within the Pakistan. So I think education is one area of it, but there are a lot of other areas like healthcare, like there are plenty of other concerns out there. But I'm making sure that you are only focusing in education. I'm pretty sure that you might have something in mind when you generally focused on the education, and why you chose the marathon when you talk about it. Right. So in order to, we will obviously delve into it. We will obviously further explore that why it was happening. But in a very interesting news, the archaeologists the oldest alphabet from the ancient tomb. So the oldest known alphabet writing has been found etched in the finger-length clay cylinders discovered by the archaeologists in the tomb in Syria. And this region, the Mesopotamian region, is known for its very rich history. The discovery was made during an archaeological excavation at Tel Umm Mara, one of the first medium-sized ancient urban centers in western Syria. Researchers from the Johns Hopkins University dated the writing to an around 2400 BC, preceding other known alphabetic scripts by about 500 years. According to scientists, this form of the writing may have revolutionized knowledge by making it accessible to people beyond royalty and social elite. And I think one thing that always fascinates me whenever we talk about the archaeology, whenever we're talking about unearthing those ancient ruins that still stands out, is that how much temporal authority is fleeting. But we humans, we seldom listen to those voices, to those ruins around us, because it sort of induces the humility and humbleness in us. And it tells us that how insan or a man is nothing. So in order to have that nothingness in us, I mean, we need to interact with such sort of ruins more. So Argentinian rodents, they are in the Dubai oasis, and they are the newest residents there. And I don't know how many people are happy about this development. A pack of Argentinian rodents have been found thriving in the desert oasis of Al Qudra Lake in Dubai, which is the home to gazelles and other desert creatures. The Patagonian mara is a rabbit-like mammal with long legs, big ears, and a body like hoofed animal, and it has survived for several years now in a network of warren among the dunes. How did the animal reach UAE remains a mystery, but many wealthy people in the country are known to keep exotic animals in their homes and farms. So in order to further unroll the conversation that we were having with the Tabarak earlier on about why he decided to venture into it. So Tabarak, why did you try to focus on, I mean, bringing the attention towards the education by this running marathon? I mean, there are other ways to raise fund about it, right? So why running, or why doing this marathon in the first place?
Running.
Can you hear me, Tabarak? I think we're trying to connect with it, and there is some sort of signal issues, and obviously we will try to reach back out there. But obviously, whenever we talk about the marathon, whenever we talk about the marathon running, and since he is going around the Pakistan, and there might be some sort of signal issue, but I think this is an amazing initiative, and for all of the people out there who want to contribute in some sort of way for the people, for the community out there who are unable to do that. So it will obviously have this sort of impact on the children out there, and it will be always an initiative, a good initiative to go down and help people out there, and TCF is one of such a standing organization. So we are going on a short break, and after we come back, we will unfold this conversation. Don't go anywhere. Good morning. Welcome back, and in order to unfold another very interesting discussion, so I have someone all the way from the Canada to Pakistan here, and we've seen how social media has given a platform to a lot of unheard voices, and people can actually exhibit their talents, they can groom themselves, and they can flourish themselves on the social media. But whenever we talk about the music industry of Pakistan, alhamdulillah, has such a vibrant tapestry and the richness of the culture, tradition, and it also diffuses into the field of music, drama, movie making, or all of that. So in order to unfold the conversation regarding the music, and that too particularly music of Pakistan, I'm very glad that I have been joined from all the way from the Canada by Sasha Pirzada. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much for coming to my show.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Right. So Sasha, please tell us about your journey. As a profession, you are invested in this field, and how did you come about it?
Well, I recently started this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a great journey so far.
Right.
And I'm hoping that inshallah, when everything goes smooth.
Right.
And
What is your particular medium which you use to display your talent?
well, in singing, it's I am a versatile singer. Like I want to sing in like every genre. So classical and folk,
Right.
pop.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about, how did you venture into this field? So you told about that you started this year, right? What inspired you to go into this field, and which are your favorite songs, if I might ask you?
Sure. So it was my childhood passion. So I never thought to pursue it as like a profession.
Right.
But and but I was like in somehow I was into it. Like I used to sing a lot at home and in school, college. So yeah, but I never thought that I'll do it professionally.
Right.
But then now it's everything has time. Like Allah knows when time has come and when you are gonna do what you wanna do.
Right.
So I think this is the time.
Right, right. And please tell us about your inspiration, which genre do you follow and what do you want to do?
Well, since childhood, I used to listen to Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Saab.
Right.
And I love Qawwali and
Right.
classical folk. I was more into that since childhood. But, and yeah, he's my inspiration.
Right, right. And obviously, whenever we talk about moving into this profession, you cannot discount because we are South Asians and we do have a very strong and a vibrant family system or support system. So, how supportive were your family around you when you ventured into this field? And do you mind me asking, what were you doing before you venturing into this field?
Sure. Sure. For the first question, if you talk about the family, to be honest, my family was never like supportive in this regard,
Right,
for
right.
this because we don't have a media background,
True, true.
right? So I'm the only one so far in this field. But yeah, now they, when time passes and you go through a lot in life, you have different experiences in life. So gradually, maybe they, understand that okay, now if she's willing to do something as like,
Did they come about it?
sorry.
Did they come around?
Oh yeah.
Okay, okay. That's interesting. So, whenever we talk about the music, and I mean, it's such a diverse world out there, and it is a universal language. Everyone understands that, right? Just listening to it, good tunes always evoke some sort of goodness within you. So, tell us about which particular genre do you listen more, and what are your so you talked about Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, right? And whenever we talk about that era, I mean, music of that time was way more different than the music of now. It's more like loud beats and very fast pace, and the lyrics would be one, I mean, just randomly stitched around. I mean, not saying every other lyrics is like that. I mean, there's some meaning into it. But if you listen to the, era of the 60s or 70s, the lyrics were way more meaningful, right? And they had some sort of message. And that is why when we listen to that music now in this age, we do find some sort of solace. We can connect with that music. How do you see, compare and contrast these two music of different eras?
Well, I would say you're absolutely right that the music in 70s, 80s, that was like something beyond, it was exceptional, I
Right.
must say. There was, to be honest, it depends on, it varies to person. Everybody has
Absolutely.
choices, in everything. So music is obviously, some people like slow music, some people, and it also depends on moods.
True.
How your mood is and
Right.
what you want to listen to. If you're
Right.
sad, you will go with, sad songs, and if you're happy, you want
Right.
something, dancing party tracks. So yeah, it depends. But yeah, that music, if we compare to now, now we are making a very good music. Still, we are like, I must say, our musical
off, yeah.
industry is awesome.
Yeah,
It's
there's
amazing.
always some sort of
Yeah,
improvement that we humans have seen, because
exactly.
to err is a man, right? So, Sasha, I would like to request you, why don't you sing song for us?
Sure. I'll sing few lines
Sure,
from
sure.
my latest song,
Right, right.
which I recently launched.
Wonderful. Go ahead.
Yeah. दिल पुकारे तुझे ढूंढे सारा जहां मेरी आँखों में है आज भी वो समा दिल पुकारे तुझे ढूंढ सारा जहां मेरी आँखों में है आज भी वो समा अश्क से आज दिल को भिगो लेने दो मंजिलों का पता मुझको खो लेने दो हो रोने दो रो लेने दो रोने दो रो लेने दो.
Right. That's wonderful. And do you mind me asking who composed the lyrics and what was the inspiration behind it?
Sure. So, Moon and Kashif, they composed the music of this song.
Wonderful.
Lyrics, I wrote this
Right.
song by myself.
Right.
And video is everything done by Moon and
Right.
their staff. So it has been like incredible experience with them, to be honest. It was my first experience with them, so I really loved it. The way they work and
Right.
the quality of the song and music and the video, it was amazing. So
Right, and how do you think about the social media? For example, it has a given platform and anyone can come, for example, YouTube, anyone can come and post their videos on that platform. So do you think it has upgraded the quality or it has degraded the quality by making it accessible to everyone out there in the music?
Sure. I must say it, in one way, like I would say that it's more accessible, which is very good. But in the past, if we see, like at that time, it was like only on the radio or only on one TV channel, maybe the songs. But still, people would like they knew about it, you know, and it's so popular. But yeah, it's more like I would say accessible and convenient this way, and for an artist to you know, showcase their talent. But yeah, it's
Right,
both
and
ways. It's
right, and
fine,
I would
yeah.
like to conclude our program, and I would also like to request Sasha to please sing few lines. But before moving on to the Sasha, I would like to bid everyone farewell. Until next time, it's a goodbye. Allah Hafiz. And Sasha, why don't you sing two other lines for us?
Sure. From the same song?
Sure,
or-
sure.
Okay.
The podium is yours.
Okay. दिल पुकारे तुझे ढूंढ सारा जहां मेरी आँखों में है आज भी वो समा दिल पुकारे तुझे ढूंढ सारा जहां मेरी आँखों में है आज भी वो समा अश्क से आज दिल को भिगो लेने दो मंजिलों का पता मुझको खो लेने दो हो रोने दो रो लेने दो.
Right, and thank you so much for singing it for us. Until next time, it's a goodbye. Allah Hafiz and good morning.